Hi friends and welcome to Reclaim Treasures. I got this mannequin or boost, jewelry boost from a local thrift store. I lightly scuff sanded, put 2 coats of polyacrylic, and I'm putting two coats of ink by Waverly. It's a great paint, actually has beautiful coverage. So I covered the whole thing with 2 coats. I pulled out a few of my books that I have a lot of leftover pieces of transfer. I decided to use the ivy and a couple of the big flowers. I'm going to put everything that I used in the comments below, in the description below. And I want to put the one peach flower on the left side and the red flower I decided to put on the right side. It took me a while to figure out what to keep and what to cut, because these flowers are kind of big and there's a lot of curves in that boost. I decided to put the ivy up on the shoulder to look like a strap on her dress. I took out one of the buds from the flower, the rose. I'm securing everything to see how I like it to be arranged. The peach flower was kind of big, so I took a couple of the petals out. For a moment I thought I can put that stencil down below, but then I just didn't see that going with it. It would have been way too busy. So I start arranging and transferring. These flowers, as I mentioned before, they're way too big, and even though I tried to put them on without splitting or cracks, I had a huge crack, as you will see. Actually, I had a couple of them, but I saved them from, being able to be seen. It gave me the ride of my life. Normally, I don't have much of an issue with transfers, but because of the curves of that boost, I had splits. So I had to cover them up. It took a while to decide. I cut a leaf or two from a different rose. I was gonna put these blue flowers on it, but then I decided not to. So I cut the leaf there, as you see, and I covered one of the leaves that was kind of cracked in the middle. I didn't like that one either. So I decided to go with that one. There was a piece left over from another leaf. And that big one, I covered the whole leaf at the bottom. So I still had a big crack there, and I was kind of debating what to put. So I decided on the ivy leaves. I had the ivy leaves coming from the top down, then I decided I'll go from the bottom up towards the rose. If you look at the vines or, ivy vines, how they grow, they're going all over the place. I cut a few of the petals of that peach rose, as you see there, and I used only the leaves. And so far, so good. You can see the cracks. That's the whole great thing with transfers. You can put them on top of each other and cover imperfections, and they're perfect for that. I had that small piece that was left over from the rose, and I put it at the bottom, you know, looking like a flower is under coming up. And the back of her dress, I decided to put more of the ivy coming down again or going up, or depends on which way you're looking at it. It was so much fun working with that. Then I had this stencil, and I decided to take the Perry only from the, or Paris from it. And I did a raised stencil. Effect. And I took one of the corners also from the same stencil, and I did a raised stencil on each side of her dress. Wiped out some of the smudgy things there. It looked really pretty. I dried them with my hair dryer. Here is the piece that I separated from the rest of the design to put on each side. And something was missing right there. I wanted to put something on the waist, like a brooch. And I'm using IOD's, I never remember the name, Victoriana, to put a brooch there. I like using air dry clay. I don't do much of resin. I can manipulate air dry clay better. So I got all the additional clay out with my spatula. And if you use baking soda on it, the casts come out really easy. I'm going to use that image for the top, her face, and on the back of her face, you can say the back of her head. So I casted a couple of them, and the bow that's from the same IOD mold, put quick and thick Tybond glue. It's a very good glue for castings. I secured it because the surface is still slick. I put another coat of polyacrylic on top of the transfers. And I'm taking out the excess, whatever is oozing out, with a wet brush. Doing the same thing with the brooch. I love the details on that little brooch. Everything on that mold, the Victoriana, is gorgeous. It's got so many detailed castings, yeah. I used just about everything from this. No, I used everything from this mold. And for the face, I wanted to put a base first down, and I glue it on both sides, because as you see, the metal, it wouldn't be just good by itself to glue the image on that I wanted. I made a flat surface so I can glue the flower image on. stretch it a little bit to make it fit closely. I didn't worry too much about it because I was going to put something on the sides. And I put the same image on both sides. And then I used the laurel that they has in that mold. I used 7 pieces. I casted 7 pieces. I used just about all of it, 3.5 on each side. And that's how it ended up looking. I really love the way it looked. The neck, I made a thin layer of clay, wrapped it around the neck, and I wanted to put a couple bows, one on each side, from the same IOD mold. And I made a couple beads to cover the sides as well. I painted everything black. And I'm using Dixie Belle's gilded wax in gold with a fine brush. I lightly brush that on the details. I used my brush mostly flat or parallel to the casting, so I can grab only the high points from them, and that way I can show off the details. I did all the castings with the same gold. And after I did the gold, I was thinking, might be a little bit too dark. So I highlighted again on top of the gold with silver. Same from Dixie Belle. But it gave it a little more shine, a little more light. And this is how it ended up looking. I hope you all love it as much as I do. A $5 item looks like $1 million. Let me know what you all think. You like it? Hate it? Any comments would be appreciated. I hope everybody stays safe and warm, and I hope this cold front don't affect your lives. Thank you all for watching. Until next time, stay safe, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.